Welcome to another incredible Get Good at Business highlight and spotlight. Today, I'm joined by the incredible business owner, Meg Bingham. Meg, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Taylor. I'm happy to be here.
So, for those of you watching and listening, Meg is a certified stress management specialist and FGS certified master marketer. With dual focus on simplified marketing and offer creation strategies and stress management coaching, she helps women entrepreneurs increase their income and impact without burning out. And the way that she does this is through her business called Work Life Harmony Club. And it is all about raising the bar from work life balance. It's centered around the idea that we can dedicate everything we dedicate time and energy to should be contributing to the life we love. She offers a wide range of services that allow women business owners to scale in sustainable ways while addressing their stress so they can enjoy life while they are enjoy the life they are working so hard to build. So Meg, I am so excited that you're here with us today and so excited to dive into a little bit of your business.
Yay, let's get to it.
Awesome. But before we do that real quick, I think it's important to introduce myself as well. Hello, I am Taylor Proctor, your business coach here to help you get good at business. And the way that we do that is through the I Move method, which we'll be diving into the areas of I Move with Meg today. So the I Move method stands for intuition, marketing, operations, velocity, and execution. So with that said, let's dive in. Before we get fully into the I Move though, Meg, tell us a little bit about your background and specifically what inspired you to combine stress management coaching with marketing strategies to really create Work Life Harmony Club.
I love that question because it's taken me a while to figure it out, to be honest. I just sort of landed here and had to look back, reflect on how I did end up here. So I've been passionate about disease prevention since I was a kid. Growing up, my dad had several chronic illnesses as a result of lifestyle choices. So from a young age, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to help people be healthy, and live long and happy lives until I just started working for doctors after graduating high school and realized that lifestyle was not for me. Like it was very high stress, high demand. It was going to be really, really hard to have a family and have balance in that type of lifestyle. There are doctors doing it, but it just wasn't for me. So I worked in that medical clinic for over a decade and then started my marketing business as a way to supplement my family's income after I had kids, right? I think a lot of us hit that wall where it's like, I don't want to continue to work full time, but I want to continue to contribute and have a way to earn money. I personally love earning money. It's very fulfilling for me. So I got started in marketing because there was money there, right? Like there's always opportunities. And I was very privileged to mentor with some amazing women. And during my years as a marketing strategist, I was working with these powerhouse, amazing women, building these big, beautiful, amazing businesses. And even though I was working with them to create scalable offers where it wasn't so much trading their time for dollars, even though we were automating everything we could and setting them up for success that way, they were still putting their own mental and physical health on the back burner. Their relationships were still suffering. They were still burning out at like alarmingly high rates. And so I decided to sort of go back to my disease prevention roots. I have my degree in public health, my bachelor's degree. So I went back to those roots and earned my stress management certification. So now I sort of do a combo. We're still working on the scalable offers and the automating and delegating. And then we also learn ways to address our stress as entrepreneurs because entrepreneurs tend to experience a lot of unique sources of stress. So combining the two things I love, the marketing and the wellness, just feels natural to me now, even though it was kind of a messy middle for a minute.
I love that. And I love that too, because it is so needed in the entrepreneurship world to have that stress management piece. And it's not really talked about. And it's definitely rare to see someone like you who is coaching on marketing and the stress-free piece, which is a beautiful blend for female entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, now let's go into iMove. Let's talk about intuition. How do you use intuition in your business? And would you be willing to share a specific instance where intuition played a significant role in shaping the direction of your business?
Sure. I love that question. When I saw it come through, you sent it to me ahead of time. I was like, this is great because I am not naturally an introspective person. And I think a lot of us, especially women, because of the way that we are sort of socialized, we kind of ignore our intuition sometimes. And so I think with me, one experience that really stands out to me is when I did go hard into marketing and I was building marketing funnels for multiple agencies. And so I was making really good money and it was fine, but I was burnt out on the implementation piece. And so I really had to take a step back and learn to listen to my intuition and lean into my strengths and realize that the implementation is not for me. So while I still do, excuse me, build marketing funnels, it's not the main purpose or focus of my business because the implementation is not where I naturally shine. I'm
Mhm.
good at it, but it's not necessarily allowing me to utilize my top strengths. And so I shifted back to more of the strategy and the coaching of it, which allows me to use my strengths in a way that's more fulfilling for me and allows me to do it without burning out.
Yes. I love that because I think that as entrepreneurs, especially in those first 1 to 3 years, there's a lot of like, well, if I'm going to do it, if I'm going to talk and help on this piece, I've got to do all of it. And it's
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
actually, you can really lean into your strengths and your opportunities there and offer the support when needed in those other spaces. But really, that can be for someone else to take on. And you still have a viable, financially abundant, and client transformation model within that.
Most definitely. And it was really hard at that point because I was making really good money. And so it was that like, do I step away from this, even though I'm meeting my financial goals? But ultimately, I wasn't happy. And I think a lot of us sort of get to that place or like we've built ourselves up as an authority here. This is what I'm known for. And so it can be scary to pivot and shift, but you have to listen to your body.
Yeah,
So
especially with you as a stress management coach, right? There's that
yeah.
whole, yeah, you're good at it, you're making the money, but how sustainable is it
Yeah.
when it's stressful and not aligned? I love that.
Yep.
So let's move to the M, which is marketing, your wheelhouse.
Yes.
What innovative marketing approaches have you implemented to really reach and engage your target audience, especially with the niche that you've blended of stress management and marketing?
Yes. So my favorite way to market my business is through doing workshops. I
Mhm.
do them live and in person, and I do some that are just stress management workshops. I offer those for free. I will go into local businesses and offer them as lunch and learns, which has been really, really, really fun and fulfilling. And I've learned a lot. And then I also offer online workshops around business growth strategies as well as the stress management. So, as far as bringing new people into my world, and sort of guiding them up my customer journey, guiding them up my value ladder, workshops have been my favorite and most effective way. And a way that really plays to my strengths and how I enjoy working with people. I love working in groups where we can feed off of each other and learn from each other. It's great. It's my favorite.
Yes. And I think it's important to call out too that like you have found the thing that works for you because I find so
Yes.
many of our listeners feel like I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. And it's like find the one that you thrive in, get really good at that, and the rest starts to take care of itself.
Yes, exactly. I work with a lot of people actually that they come to me feeling like they have to be on social media, right? That's what's burning them out is that drive to be present on all the platforms all the time. And I tell a lot of my people, you don't have to post content on social media 5 times a day to be successful at marketing your business. But we feel that pressure like this. There's lots of shoulds in marketing. So it's like, this is what they're doing, they're successful. But just as you said, there's thousands of ways to market your business, and a lot of them are very effective. So it just comes down to what feels good to you.
Absolutely. We have a phrase here on the podcast, there's a million ways to make $1 million.
Yes, exactly.
So let's move to the O of I move, which is operations, right? Operational support. So lots of moving parts. You mentioned that you were a mom. You mentioned that you don't want to spend all the time doing these things, which is why you got into it to support yourself in the long term, anyways. So, how have you structured your operations to really ensure a seamless delivery of service? Well, of course, maintaining that work life balance.
This is a great question as well. So I actually got called out on this a while ago. I was speaking on a topic like this and I
Mhm.
spoke, I shared my stuff. And then the guy that got up after me, he's like, everything she said was so basic. And at first I was like kind of hurt by that. Like it hurt a little bit. But then I went home and was thinking, I was like, yeah, everything I do is really basic. And I think that is a part of what allows me to help things run so smoothly is I keep my overhead very low. I have all of my processes documented. They're all very simple, very straightforward. Even my tech stack is very small. I just keep everything as simple as possible. I think, especially when you step into that stage of business where you're doing like a lead funnel or you're selling a course or you're selling a program, there's all these bells and whistles and fancy things and fancy strategies. And you don't actually need most of those things in order to run smoothly. So my best advice there is just to keep your overhead really low and keep your tech stack really tight, and you'll be just as successful as the people spending thousands a month.
Yes. And it doesn't need to be complex or complicated to be successful.
Right. We say no to Franken funnels over here. That's telling my clients that all the time. No Franken funnels allowed. Keep it simple.
Yes. So let's go to strategies then for velocity. So, what tactics do you employ to really drive growth and momentum within your business while also prioritizing well being? This is kind of like a blend between your marketing and your operations, but what are you currently doing to add more velocity to your business?
That's a fun question. So for me personally, I've got my value ladder figured out, right? And I love teaching on this. I love working with my clients on it. I do have a podcast I've been working at it for a while and it's finally gaining traction. So I've got my podcast going and that's sort of like my free offer in my value ladder, right? I provide workbooks with the content that's going out there. I offer workshops to get people sort of in the door. And then I have my main offer, which will be the Work Life Harmony Club and marketing intensives that I offer. So I am a big believer in having your value ladder built out when you can. Of course, start with like your main. I don't know if your people are familiar with that concept. I'm sure it's talked about here, but having your main offer first, stick with that till it works, and then having something to bring new people into your world. And again, it has to be something that feels good to you. And I enjoy podcasting and I bring guests on and love that process. And so that really is my biggest driver of growth right now. And it's also really fun.
Yes, love that. And totally agree. One of the things that I see for a lot of the clients that I work with when they first come to me is they're doing
Yeah.
this. And it's like, let's get really good at selling one thing.
One thing at a time. Yes,
And then you know your audience and you know what they need and you know their language and all of those pieces to then have something that's supplemental and it just grows from there. But you don't
exactly.
have to have a million offers all at once.
Yes. If that's like one takeaway from this today is one thing until it works. No
Yes.
shiny objects for sure.
And keep it simple.
Yes.
So let's move to the final part of the I move method, which is E, execution. So could you give us a glimpse into a major project or initiative that you're currently focusing on executing and how you're bringing it to life?
Yes, this is fun. So I'm working on my newest offer is called the Work Life Harmony Club. It's going to be a low ticket membership, which is different than anything I've offered before. And so the process for me creating that and bringing it about, I've done lots and lots and lots of research, lots of learning. And I did catch myself. I sort of use learning as a form of procrastination. I don't know if you do this too, but I'm like, I don't have that figured out yet. So I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to push it back. But um, overcoming that. Um, and I've been doing focus groups. I have some beta members in there, which is important to do a beta program, right? And make sure that you're tailoring whatever you create for the people you're creating it for. Yeah, that's I think my biggest goal with that has been to really tailor the program for what people need instead of going out and building it and then hoping to get people in. I'm building it with them and for them.
I love that. So
Yeah.
good. So Meg, obviously we've talked about you have your podcast, you have the upcoming Work Life Harmony Club. How can our audience find other ways to connect with you? How can they get a hold of you? How can they learn more?
Yeah, so I hang out on Facebook most of the time as my platform of choice. So you can send me a friend request. I'm Meg Bingham on Facebook. I also have an audio course called the Balanced Business Blueprint, and I designed it. It's to help you create a more balanced life and business in just 10 days. So inside that audio course, it's very actionable. I don't like fluff. And so episodes are around 10 minutes long, and then you have an action item and we get to work. And so through 10 days, we're going to create better strategies for protecting your time and creating your non-negotiables to make sure you get your self-care and stress management in to make sure that that is happening for you. And then we also talk about simplifying your business and simplifying your marketing so you can keep everything, your overhead low and your tech stack really tight. So yeah, that is available and it's great.
Beautiful. And the link to that is in our description of this episode. So you can just click that there and go right over to check out Meg's audio course. So Meg, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate you taking the time, pulling back the curtain on your business and helping us all see and learn from you on how we can get good at business. So thanks for joining me today. And those of you that are watching and listening, thank you also for joining us. Stay tuned. We have more incredible Get Good at Business highlights on the way.